a constructive manner. The main thing we do is not only do we teach them USA, unconditional self-acceptance, but we teach all humans, both in the family and outside the family, UOA, unconditional other acceptance, which is the Christian philosophy of accepting the sinner, but not the sin. So they're able to never denigrate, rate, and rave and rant against other members of the family, but they accept them, as we mentioned before, the serenity prayer. You accept what you can't change, you don't like it, and you accept other humans, but you don't necessarily accept their behavior or recommend that they continue it. You try to get them to change their behavior, but you always accept them with their bad behavior, and then they're much more likely to change that behavior.
The beauty of this audio medium, Dr. Ellis, is that we are able to address subject matter in unusually detailed form over the internet, unlike the text-based chat. For people who've just arrived, please raise your hand if you have any further questions. And while we're waiting for other people to raise their questions, I know you'll kick yourself, ladies and gentlemen, if you let this opportunity pass without asking Dr. Ellis questions. Dr. Ellis, you told us USA is unconditional self-acceptance, UOA is unconditional other acceptance. Could you tell us what PYA is?
PYA means push your ass. The third insight, which I said before, of REBT, Rational Emotive Behavior Therapy, if you want to change, insight into how you are and how you got that way and what you're now doing, thinking, and feeling is not enough. So you PYA, you push your ass to change experientially and actively and, of course, thinking philosophically. Sex, but that we are born as well as raised creative. I'm a constructivist and believe that humans naturally and very definitely have constructive as well as destructive ability. So I don't think that any God or any entity except their parents created them, that they are born and reared creatively and again destructively, and they always have an existential choice of which to use more, their creative bents or their unfortunately masturbatory and uncreative bents.
Okay, I'll try asking the question from another perspective. Do you believe in magic, and are you spiritual?
Very good question, and thank you, White Raven. Do you believe in magic? Do you believe in spirituality, Dr. Ellis? And then Dr. David Coe will be next.
I do not believe in any kind of magic or supernatural entities of any kind, but I'm spiritual in the sense that humans, I believe, I would like to see them act spiritually and take care of both themselves and other humans. And in 1961, Dr. Robert Harper and I, in A Guide to Rational Living, our best-selling book, advocated that humans get a vital, absorbing interest, something big, purposive in their life, preferably they'll have for 30 or 40 or 50 years, and devote themselves to that because A, they enjoy it, but B, preferably it helps other people.
Follow, such as the flow of the Tao, or it's God's plan for me. I heard you say that we should have our own plan, but do you think it's that there's a certain progression to our behavior that we ought to follow, or another plan besides our own?
Well, I think that belief is fascism, that there is some divine or non-divine force that we should, ought, and must follow in order to be happy humans and get along with others. So I don't believe in anything supernatural or anything divine or anything that's absolutely pushing us except our genetic tendency to like certain things and dislike others. And also, unfortunately, we have the tendency to escalate very often our desires, goals, and preferences, which are fine, whether or not, into absolute must, shoulds, and ought. So I think we have strong tendencies, but they're individual. And some people have some more than others, but there's no one force or energy in the universe that directs us, and if we think there is, I think that's dependency and copping out, and not thinking, feeling, and behaving for ourselves and our loved ones and other humans in the universe.
You said when our personal desires, musts, shoulds, and oughts, they cause conflict when we run into things that we can't have or can't change. And so in a sense, it sounds like you are saying sometimes you have to go with the flow.
Yes, but the flow is not preordained or not absolute. So sometimes, very often, you have a choice between what you want to do, especially right now, and what your goals, values, preferences are to get later. So you very frequently have a very difficult choice, and the goal is not to upset yourself about that and to pick the best choice that you think is okay for you, your loved ones, and for humanity in general. So you do have that choice, but it's very difficult and not easy to take it, and since reared as fallible humans who easily make mistakes no matter how hard we try not to, therefore you can practically guarantee that you will make many, many mistakes during your lifetime. You'll pick the wrong thing that does you good for the moment, or you think it does, and it does you bad later, and that's too bad. So you're fallible, so you made the wrong choice. But being a constructivist, you can also always reconstruct that choice in the future. You normally, until you die, have a future, so you can reconstruct as well as construct, and therefore, even though your choices are difficult, and there's no way of making a perfect choice that will help you and everybody all the time, you do your best and you enjoy the challenge of making the best choice that you can make.
Okay, that White Raven did not get a follow-up question, and everyone else.
Your goals, values, preferences are to get later. So you very frequently have a very difficult choice, and the goal is not to upset yourself about that and to pick the best choice that you think is okay for you, your loved ones, and for humanity in general. So you do have that choice, but it's very difficult and not easy to take it, and since